Hello, everyone. Thanks all for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Michael. Together with Magdalena and Michał, we're joined here to talk to you about marketing automation. This is the second episode of Marketing Automation Masterclass. I don't know if you've been with us the last time, but let me just briefly introduce you to the idea, to the whole concept of this webinar series that we're doing over here. So the Marketing Automation Masterclass is this short and sweet kind of approach that we want to do here. About every month, we want to meet with you, share our expertise with you on how to best use marketing automation. And today's session is actually devoted to abandoned carts. So in each session, we're just covering one single, let's say, campaign. Here, we're going to be talking about abandoned carts and recovery of abandoned carts. And we're going to teach you how you can use these campaigns for your own business. Feel free to say hi in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me well. Today's session is recorded, so don't worry about it in case something's going to be cutting or you're not going to be able to stay with us for the whole session. Everything will be recorded and we'll be sharing with you and recording soon. So once again, as I mentioned, the concept is that we're going to go through one campaign. Today we'll start with Magdalena, who's going to tell us through the ins and outs of using automation for abandoned cart recovery, why you should be doing this. And Michał will be then switching on to the GetResponse part. He's going to be sharing his screen and he's going to be sharing actually step-by-step process of how you can apply these things in your own processes. So I'm going to shush for a moment, going to switch off to the chat. But in case you have any questions, feel free to ask them now or at the end of this presentation, because we'll have a dedicated Q&A session. This is your time to ask any questions about marketing automation. So feel free to do so. And once again, thank you all for joining. And I'm just going to the chat pod now.
Okay, hi guys. Let me take it from here because I wanted to share with you a bit of a business approach to show you why you should be saving those abandoned carts, what exactly abandoned carts are, and what we can, how we can profit from the fact that many of our customers are not completing their orders, and how we can kind of make it turn it around to our advantage. So it's very simple process. If you want to build the simplest version of this workflow, or if you want to take care of it in the simplest way, the less effort and the less time put into it, then it's really, really very straightforward. Someone abandons cart, so creates a cart full of products in your shop. And then you probably know that, I'm sure most of us being here knows that, sometimes you just don't complete the order. You add things to your cart and then you, for some reason, one or another, you just leave the shop without paying for them. And this is the situation when you can jump into action and try to save some of those abandoned carts and push your customers, into completing the order. So the most basic version is really super simple. And the only part that requires work, but that's the work you just do once, is creating a beautiful message that will tell them, buy me now, here's what you left in your cart, and you really, 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 really want to finalize this order. And in this scenario, if you have a GetResponse automation that starts with when cart is abandoned, then this message can be populated with the abandoned cart box, and this can be used to show the exact items that were on the cart and that they can purchase right away. So this would be the most basic version, and let me show you one number I would like you to consider if you think you don't need that, because almost 70% of customers online abandon their carts. So this is a huge number. And when you think of how expensive it is to actually interest people in your product, to make your brand known, to go into the internet and just stand out from the crowd and catch people's eyes and bring them to your shop, you've paid for all of this. This whole path is expensive. You paid for it with advertisement, you paid for influencers, you paid for development of your shop, you paid for awesome products. And then 70%, almost 70% of people who add things in online carts just leave them be and never pay. So this is your target. This is what you want to save. That's why we're calling saving those abandoned carts. And here is a few things you should consider if you would like to start doing that. Because if you're a shop owner, you should really be saving those carts. When we talk about the efficiency of such a project, like creating an abandoned cart sequence and creating a message for it, you should know that this is a net profit for your shop, starting from the first one. From the first time someone buys your products from the abandoned cart email, you're already on a gain, because this is one-time setup, and as you've seen just here, it's really, really simple if you want to go with the most basic way. So doing this from the first time someone is complied to just, I would like to actually finish that order and purchase. First time is your gain, and every next time is just the same profit, or the same amount of profit, let's say, gaining and gaining towards your shop's growth, and you still don't have to do anything in additional, because this is just one-time process you have to go through, and then you just boost your revenue. Also, it's not just gaining additional profit. I just pointed out in a moment that you have paid for these customers to go to your shop. One way or another, you got their attention, and in most cases, it's expensive. So retrieving that investment is something that will help you in the long run as a shop owner. So you don't want to waste that if 70% of your visitors don't turn into customers. So this is why abandoned carts may be one of the most important messages you send. And this brings me to another point I would like to talk to you about, and this is how important the message itself is. Because it's very easy to just add the abandoned cart box that we have in GetResponse automation message editor. So you will be sure that the products from the cart will be there. But then again, you have the whole content of that message. You can focus on creating the first part or the last part above or below the products you want to sell. You can focus on making them as appealing, as inviting, as exciting as you can possibly think of. You may want to sell the experience. You may want to sell the idea that comes with your product. Look at your shop. Look what are advantages of having the product you're selling. Look for the lifestyle you're aiming towards in your customer base, and sell that. Put that in your automation message. And I know Michał has prepared for you some awesome links we will share later, when you can get some inspirations, see some examples, and start to build your own message the way that will speak to your own customer base. And one thing we wanted to show you after the initial workflow. So here we are. This is the first two steps that I showed you before, but we have built upon it to further maximize the possible profit of running this campaign. Again, this is something you do just once. And we even want to send you a template for this, so you won't have to build it by hand from scratch. And the idea is that you can not only send that one message, but check if someone purchased in the last, we used 2 days for an example, and then also tag them accordingly. So you will know going forward which customers needed a promo code to complete their purchase, which customers didn't need a promo code and just needed a message. So you can create segments based on those tags, and then you can invest more wisely into who needs a promo code to be a buying customer, to be a repeated customer, and who just needs a nice message to give them a little nudge towards making a purchase in your shop. So Michał will go through the whole process and describe how it works. I just wanted to show you an overview that it doesn't have to be super simple, and it doesn't have to be just one message. So you can build upon it. You can even take first party data from it and use it further to boost your business. So this is what we will show you today. And also, as I've mentioned, this is the template you will be getting after the webinar. And this advanced solution has, as I mentioned, the tag based on actions. This is a very important thing if you would like to prepare. For example, we have the Black Friday campaign just around the corner. And if you can start your abandoned cart cycle now, then in like 2 months, you will have some info who will need a promo code or who will need just a message. And this can help you save money and can help you boost your sales as well. So I think that we may go into the automation editor with Michal and show you how it's done, actually.
And before we do that, thanks, Magdalena, for the intro part here. Let me share a quick survey with you, which I wanted to share with you a bit before. So before we go to the marketing automation arena, quick question. What platform is your store built on? We're curious to hear, where you folks are coming from, which tools you're using, because we're actually not only educating folks, but also Magdalena here, especially she's on the development side of things. So she wants to know, especially, for which platforms we should be putting more focus on producing more materials for. So let me just collect the answers for this one. Please, spend a few seconds to answer this question. I can see there are a few folks using Shopify, PrestaShop, WooCommerce. There's one person that doesn't have an online store just yet. And, 10 more seconds and I'll just pass the microphone back to Michal. Okay. If you haven't answered just yet, please feel free to do so. And I'm going to end voting now. All right. And once again, going back to the chat pod. See you later.
Right. Hey, everybody. Hope you're having a lovely day so far, but I guess with Friday tomorrow, the morale is high. So allow me to open up my arena and walk you through the actual construction of the workflow. Can you see me okay? And the actual arena? Right, I just need you to confirm. Okay, okay, thanks, Michal. Right, so the template that you will get in the email after our webinar will be only the elements and not the structure within. So I wanted to walk you through the whole process. So you'll be able to later easily recreate the whole workflow, right? So our trigger to the automation is when somebody abandons a cart in our shop. For the purpose of this presentation, I'm going to be using an API shop, a test store integrated via API. And for this workflow to actually fully work, please make sure to toggle run multiple times option on all of the elements to on. All right, and that will ensure swift operations of it. When to assume the cart is abandoned, how much time would you like to give your customers to complete their order? I will use 3 hours for the purpose of this presentation. Now, as soon as they abandoned a cart, we want to, so 3 hours after we assume the cart is abandoned, we want to send them a message that will be like the first step to winning them back. In this case, this message will simply contain the summarization of their order, so products they've abandoned with pictures, and a link to reclaim the order directly in your shop, right? After that, we want to wait for a day just to give our customers some time. And we need to check if the first step, so the first message with no additional incentive, actually did the trick or not. And this is what Magdalena mentioned at first. The segment will check if they had made a purchase in the last 2 days or not. If they had, we want to tag them as people who actually bought the product without any additional incentive, like a promo code, as we will be using in our example right here. So reminder, no code buyer, right, in my example. And those people where are the first customers who didn't require any nudges or pushes to actually complete the transaction. But those who still haven't finished yet, they are not a lost cause. We just need to provide maybe some additional incentive. And in this case, we want to provide another time frame for them to give them some time. We don't want to overflow them with messages, so we give them in this case another day. Of course, you can adjust the times if you need it. You know your audience best, but one day is safe. And after that, we want to send an additional incentive. We decided to use a promo code that will maybe actually convince them to purchase the product. And we are using the web push notifications. So it will be sent via notification in our store. Complete your order with this limited offer. And if that won't reach, we want to also follow up with another message that will contain the same promo code, encouraging your customers to actually complete the transactions. And just like Magdalena mentioned, it's always better to win them back as you've already made the investment. Then one day to wait, because we want to gather the first person data, so more details about our customers that might come in handy when preparing further promotions or campaigns that you would like to use to promote your products. And in here, it's again the same segment, as we need to check the last 2 days. If they had purchased, we do want to tag them as reminder code buyer, right? So it took an incentive, in our case, a promotional code or a discount code to convince the customer to complete his transactions. If that didn't work, we also want to note who, let's say, resisted the temptation and still hasn't completed his order. So we might want to target them at a later date with maybe a stronger campaign, or just maybe a different type of relationship, right? Reminder code, not buyer, right? And this basically sums it up. It's if you will need to build upon it, alter it in any sort of way, or adjust it to your business strategy or relationships you have with your customer, it's very easy to create a message or swap out any sort of or build for further communications, but you have to know your customers, right? And the template that you will receive will be exactly how you see the workflow right now. You will only need to create your messages, recreate the segment, and the tags as well for your information, and the web push notification if you decide to use it. If you're not keen on using web push notifications, you can always connect the wait block with the send message directly. And just to briefly show you the construction of the segment. Now, the picture, so the screenshot of the segment settings will also be included in the follow-up email. But just to show you briefly that we want to monitor people who match, and this is very important and often omitted in the process of creating segment. Make sure to switch all to any. It's by default all, so they would have to match both of those criteria. So they made a purchase today and yesterday, but with any, we'll just get either one, right? And this is what we want to track. Lovely. Okay. Right. Thank you. Back to you, Michał.
All right. Thanks a lot, Michał. So I hope you enjoyed this part. You've learned how to use marketing automation in detail in these two ways you can capture abandoned carts. So two things I want you to focus on right now. First of all, now is the perfect time to start asking your questions, preparing them in the chatbot so we can go over them. If you want us to actually go back to the marketing automation arena, we can do that, so we can answer some of your questions or provide more details about specific elements. Until then, you can also get a chance to schedule a one-on-one consultation with one of our in-house experts. Just click on the CTA at the top of the webinar room. And before we jump to the questions, in case you have any, I want to share a few places for you to check out for more inspiration about email marketing templates, but also automation in general. So GetResponse blog and GetResponse resources are these two places where we can actually store our let's say expertise, our articles, webinars, videos, etc. That there's an article that you can see with examples of really great abandoned cart emails. So feel free to check it out. I'm going to share the link with you in a moment as well. Now, there are also websites that you can use to spy on, let's call it, on other folks in your market, or just to see some amazing email marketing campaigns. MailCharts is awesome for e-commerce store owners. You can sign up for free for it, and you can actually identify specific email campaigns used by companies across the world for specific either, let's say, product or a specific holiday or a specific theme. And you can actually even filter down, let's say, the moment of time you want to have a look at, campaigns that were sent a month before Black Friday campaign. So MailCharts is going to help you with that. This is perfect for online store owners. Really good emails. It's another website. This is more like a Pinterest, I would say, for email marketing campaigns. This is where you can look up beautiful emails submitted by users. And honestly, the campaigns that you can see there are going to inspire your own. Definitely, they're not always easy to let's say replicate unless you've got a designer on your team. But they're great for just even copy inspiration if you send out emails in English. And Mild.com is something different. Mild is actually a website that I think they sign up for various newsletters around the world, and they just provide these. They add them all to, let's say, one database on their website. So this is similar to MailCharts, but it's broader. So it's not only for e-commerce store owners, and it doesn't allow you for such great filtering options. But again, if you just type in any search query that you're interested in, any topic you're interested in, is going to provide you with examples. And let's say you want to check out emails sent by your competitor, just type in their name, and it's likely that they've signed up to their newsletters already and they added them to their website. So be sure to check out these websites. Let me just share with you once again them in the chat pod, just in case, and getresponse.com/blog. That's the one that you can definitely remember it by heart, or at least I hope so. So that's where you can find more information about great email marketing campaigns and marketing automation campaigns. Now, I want to actually, before we finish it off, because I can't see any questions right now on the chat pod, I want to ask you also to review this session and provide us more details, more ideas for future sessions. So in case you don't happen to have any questions right now, please use that bit.ly link at the bottom that I shared in the chat pod, and feel free to just answer us briefly. I think we have 5 questions where we ask you for the session's topic, how it went, and what we could do better in the future, what we should do more or less of, and what other topics you would like us to cover in the future. Once again, we're going to be doing these sessions about once per month. We're going to be jumping between topics based on the demand, what our audience wants us to talk about, what aspects of marketing automation. But we want to make marketing automation really approachable, because as you can see, once you get the gist, once you get the first 2 blocks connected, it is really easy to follow. It's easy to implement. So feel free to just check out that bit.ly link at the bottom. And if you don't happen to have any other questions, I think we're going to be able to just finish it off really quickly today. And once again, I want to thank Michał and Magdalena for joining me today, for sharing their knowledge with you and myself as well. And just in case you want to ask any questions, either do it now, feel free to do so, or just reply to the emails when we're going to be sending you the recording within the next few days. And as always, reach out to us if you happen to have some ideas for what we could cover next, because we're here to help you and we want to educate yourself and ourselves as well. So once again, thank you and have a lovely afternoon or evening wherever you are. It was great to see you, great to hear you. Thanks, Michał. Thanks, Magdalena, once again. Have a good one, everyone.